I have to be honest, we have heard so many negative reviews and watched so many videos about the Infinite Veranda that after I booked our cruise on the Celebrity Beyond, I wondered if we had made a huge mistake booking this cabin. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now we are on day 2 of our cruise on the Celebrity Beyond. We are having a wonderful time, but I wanted to share with you right away, like as soon as possible, our thoughts on the Infinite Veranda cabins. Now I know there are some pros, there are some cons, and to be honest, I do not think they are for everybody, but I will share with you my verdict on this cabin. And really, it might surprise you. It definitely surprised me. Now, before I get into this cruise cabin review, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Now, we all know there are a lot of cons out there, and I'm definitely going to share them in this video, but I am going to start with the pros first, because if you have booked an Infinite Veranda cabin or are thinking of it, I think that you may appreciate some of these. And of course, I'm going to let you know my thoughts on this cabin and if we are happy in the end that we did book it. Now, firstly, our first view of this cabin actually took our breath away a little bit. We saw those floor to ceiling windows, and being able to just have a full view of the outdoors, whether it was the cruise port and then once the ship was sailing to see the sea, it kind of did take our breath away. Now, beyond those floor to ceiling windows, the cabin really did feel a little bit grander, a little bit bigger, and what the cabin balcony reminded me of, and remember, they don't call it a balcony, they do call it a veranda, but it did remind me of sort of a sunroom. So sort of that idea of that indoor outdoor space, it really felt like that to us, and it really did bring the outside right into our cabin, and we did like that. Now, a real pro and something that we absolutely loved were those ocean sounds. Now, normally when you have a traditional balcony, you have to be outdoors to hear those ocean sounds, or you do need to leave that balcony door open. Now, that works well if you have a sliding door. If you have one of those doors that is not a sliding door, sort of an open closing door, then you don't really have that luxury. We loved to be able to just hear the sounds of the sea. And as a matter of fact, as I sat in that living room sort of area with that small couch, I was able to sit, write notes for my video, or even just scroll through my phone, and I could hear the ocean sounds. I could see the ocean from top to bottom. It really was something nice. I appreciated it. Now, something that I really wouldn't have thought of, but that is something important, is this veranda cabin did feel very private. Normally, when you are sitting on your own balcony, you can hear and you can even see a little bit your neighbors to the left and to the right. You can see your neighbors to the bottom, sometimes to the top. You cannot see anybody else when you're on your own veranda inside your Infinite Veranda cabin. Now, something that was really interesting, and I don't think this will appeal to everybody, but I do think it will appeal to some, especially if you're technology orientated, you can actually control the blinds on your window from your phone. So I was able to be in bed and actually open up the blinds in the morning time. So yes, because you have those floor to ceiling windows, you do have blackout blinds. You're able to control them by a button that is right at the side of the window, but you can also control that right from your phone. And by the way, you can also control the temperature of your cabin and even the TV. And another little fun point, I think I might have liked this one most of all, but you can actually control the lights from your phone. You can have them on sort of an evening setting or a morning setting or a sleep setting. It really does make the cabin, I guess it's a little bit modern, but it really was something nice when we went to bed and when we woke up in the morning. Now, if you want a little bit of a separation between the cabin and the veranda area, you do have these doors. You can see them right behind me, but they're sort of opaque but still clear glass doors. So you can close those either halfway or the full way if you want more privacy. Now, if you are sitting in the area that I guess is closer to the balcony area or to the window, then you can close that off behind you. Now, I do think that this is, for some people, the negative. For people who really like to sit on the balcony area while somebody else sleeps and for it to be very quiet, maybe that is something that might be a little bit better on a traditional balcony. But for me, this was not a problem at all. Now, I have heard some reviews, and I guess this is a con for some people, but where people said that the railing of the Infinite Veranda balcony, that actually impeded their view if they were sitting down and maybe they were looking out, maybe they were having room service, they were having a breakfast, but we didn't find that to be the case. Now, I'm not a particularly tall person, so it really didn't impede my view at all, but my husband is about 5'11", and he didn't find it a problem either. Okay, so now for some negatives or for some cons, because the reality is, I don't think that this cabin is for everyone. Con number one, it is not a traditional balcony. If you like a very traditional balcony where you have a patio door and you can go to a very separate outdoor area for all its pros and its cons, for the inclement weather, for everything else that can happen on that balcony, you are not going to have that in your Infinite Veranda cabin, and that can be a negative for some people. Now, when I actually looked into this cabin for our cruise, I did take a look at some of the other cabins that were available. They were the sunset verandas. They were significantly more expensive, and I decided not to opt for that for this cruise. And I did also look at these other more traditional looking balconies. There are just a few on this type of cruise ship. However, they were in a way partially obstructed because they had sort of a porthole window from your balcony. And in the end, I decided to give this Infinite Veranda a try. I didn't like the idea of that circle or that round space where you could look outdoors, but otherwise where you did have this very obstructed view. Now, by the way, please let me know if you've stayed in either of those cabins in the Sunset Veranda, or especially in those cabins that have that sort of porthole style view. Please let me know your thoughts on them in the comments below. Now, another potential con, and I definitely can see this for some people, is the noise. So while the cabin itself is not noisy and the veranda itself is not noisy, when you do raise the window to close your veranda or you lower it, it is going to be, well, there really is some noise. It's about 30 seconds or so of noise, and that might be something that you don't like. At the same time, while there is no obstruction of the view of that large floor-to-ceiling window, I love that. What you do have, instead of having a curtain, is you do have a blind. And you do have a blind that also rises and lowers, and that makes noise as well. Now, another negative, and I think this is particularly if you are somebody who likes to go out on your balcony when the weather is maybe rainy or stormy. I don't like to do that, so I'll be inside. I wouldn't even notice it at all. However, some people like to do that. And on this type of ship, in this type of balcony, the captain actually does have control of closing up your veranda. So what they can do is close that window and you would not be able to open it. At the same time, of course, you're not able to open it if they're doing any window washing or something like that. Now, what was the rest of the cabin like? The rest of the cabin is absolutely beautiful. We love the color scheme. We love how modern it feels, how open this cabin feels. We love the space. Even in the bathroom, it is very beautiful. I'll show you a look around while I'm telling you a little bit about it. There is storage, so there's storage in drawers, there's storage in the closet. The only, I guess, potential negative that I have to say about it is the mirror when it comes to the closet is in the cupboard. And if you do have your bed that is close to the closet, it is a little bit hard to open that mirror fully. So for some people, that can be a negative. Now, by the way, something that you should know is when your window is open, my understanding is that the air conditioning would not stay on. I think that this is the same case in a lot of the newer cruise ships when it does come to the balcony if you have that open. So that is something to note. But when you do have your veranda or your window closed, you do have control of the temperature in your cabin, not only of course from your phone, but also from the thermostat. And you definitely can control the cabin temperature. So if you do find it gets hot because of the floor to ceiling windows, you can make your air conditioning cooler. So what's the verdict? Well, I think that it goes against maybe the grain of a lot of the other videos that I've seen here on YouTube and a lot of the other reviews. But we actually love this cabin. Now, this is not a cabin that you see on every cruise ship, but when it comes to this cruise ship, we're on the Celebrity Beyond. This cruise ship is very modern, and this cabin feels modern as well, and we are loving it. Now, I know a lot of people have had many questions about the Celebrity Beyond. This is a very different cruise ship, and I do plan to answer that in future videos. If you've sailed on this cruise ship, or if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments below. And please let me know if you think you'd love this cabin, or if you think you'd skip it. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.